Mamma mia, mamma mia. We ain't been doing this in a while. Crazy. I'm gonna make sure we're all good and sparkles and fun. Good and sparkles and fun. Mamma mia, mamma mia. Good sparkles and fun. Looks like sparkles and fun to me. We're gonna roll with it. And I'm already tired and exhausted and don't want to do this. So, let's just get to it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Week 18 of the 2025 NFL season and my prediction picks. I'm your host, the Blind Canadian Cat. I say meow and I roll intros like we've done before. Hello, Johnny. Thank you for the ping about college football. Yep, hello, everyone. Welcome back, and welcome back to me. I've had the last couple of weeks off. And for those who haven't been in the wares, during what would have been the Week 16 stream, I had jury duty. And then what would have been the Week 17 stream, because of that, plus a coworker wanted time off for Christmas vacation, I picked up extra shifts at the job that week. So that Monday through Saturday, I worked dead ass like 56 hours. So the mental fortitude to want to do this just was not there either time. So that is why you got those videos what you did. And I told you, and I said, through hell or high water, I'm gonna make sure I do this stream. I almost forgot, not gonna lie. Thought about calling it a night. It's currently 2:50 a.m. Almost called it a night, but I'm like, no, you need to do this, and it's the last chance to do it now because we had Friday, Saturday I work, so blah blah blah. This is the last chance, blah blah blah, everything down. And I'm just gonna hit the games. For the last couple of weeks have been just blah blah blah, so I haven't been really able to go over everything. So I'll just let you know, with 1 week left to go, my straight up record is 157, 98 and 1. Bit of a letdown from previous years. Against the spread, 123, 132 and 1, usually where we're at. And then totals, 122 and 134. Yeah, apparently the back-to-back weeks doing the note thing did not pick the totals well. And now we got week 18 where these totals are just going to be impossible to tell altogether. So we're going to go with it. Best of luck and best of vibes. And let's get the final week down. Who's going to clinch these spots? Who's going to clinch seeds? And who's going to make a run? Let's go. First game we have Carolina in Tampa taking on the Bucks. The Buccaneers are 3-point favorites at home, and the total's at 43.5. Tampa has fallen off, and they've fallen off hard. I don't know if it's scheme, I don't know if it's injuries, I don't know what it is, but this team is clearly not the team of the past. Carolina, I still don't trust them worth a damn, but it seems they have more consistency of an off-on team performance. And even hell, you can look at last week. The defense showed up, kept Sam Darnold in check for the most part. Offense couldn't do anything, and then the second half, defense, like, we can't keep doing this. Defense gave up. It is what it is, but that is kind of how these two teams have gone. And a lot of this at this point is just going off of direction, trends, all that stuff. I don't have incentive stuff for statistical things, so I'm not going to be tracking that here. I'm just going off of the trends. And the trends say Tampa has fallen off, Carolina inconsistent, but seems to be rotating on and off wins. So with that in mind, I'm going to take the Panthers to win this game. It seems risky taking them on a sweep situation, but this Tampa team has just fallen off a cliff, and they can't be trusted anymore. So I'm not going to trust them. Give me Carolina to win, and obviously take the +3. Total of 43.5. I'm going back again saying I can't trust Tampa. I know Carolina's got a decent defense, so I'm going to go under here. It got to 43 last time, 23-20 win in Carolina. But I'm taking Carolina again, and I'm not trusting these offenses. I'm just not. And also, with Mike Evans, he's not going to get his 1,000-yard season, so there's no incentive for him to go above and beyond. He'll do the plays he needs to do, because obviously the division's still on the line. But I just don't think that same jump is there for Tampa as it's been in previous years. And Baker's clearly hurting, so he, for better or for worse, should probably just get to the end of the season. Or at least, neither of these teams are going to go on a run, but if one of these teams is more likely to go on a run, it would be Carolina. So yeah, give me the Panthers. Panthers win, Panthers cover, give me the under. Next game we have Seattle and San Francisco taking on the Niners. Seattle, as the road team, is a 1.5 favorite until the 47.5. San Fran, despite all the injuries, they're still there. Still competing and still being relevant. And Seattle, who, I guess, even after how Darnold crashed and burned in Minnesota the final 2 games, him going to Seattle, we think, would just be, maybe be average. Nope, but Sam Darnold in a position to win a 1 seed again. And a win for the division, lose, go on the road. Ben, you already got to go on the road to win this game. And, let's be real. We've already seen some of the cracks. He still won, 13 games? Seattle's won 13 games. You still got to give them credit for that. But this reeks very similarly of last year's script. And even with all the injuries San Fran has, clearly they were able to run up and down on Chicago with no Kittle and no Trent Williams. And go bar for bar, band for band with that. I don't see why they can't go bar for bar, band for band with Seattle. Seattle's got a better defense, but I don't know if their offense is as consistent lately as Chicago was. It's risky. And again, Sam Darnold, this is an important game. And again, last year when it came to this, he folded, or the offense at least folded. So for that reason, I want to take the Niners to win this game. Niners to win at home. They're somehow the underdog, so I'll take that plus 1.5. 47, I feel like, is a very gettable number. But I'm going to rely on Seattle's defense being really good, and San Fran while playing a lot of backups, also having a relatively good defense. So give me the under on this one as well. Niners win, Niners cover, give me the under. And now Sunday fun day. I'm gonna just blow by some of these lesser games. I have the notebook written. It's just how it went down FanDuel, but I'm gonna blow by some of these lesser games. Like first one, Cleveland and Cincinnati. Bengals are 7.5 point favorites at home. Total of 44.5. Honestly, who knows how this game's gonna go? I imagine the Bengals want to be, we're not gonna be Pittsburgh and focus so much on Myles Garrett and just play our game. I don't think it fucking matters. Either way, I do like Cincy to win this game. Everyone's healthy, so they're gonna go out on a bang. Cleveland, it's all about development, and they want to maintain their draft pick while they still have it, especially since they won last week, so they're only gonna finish with the 6th pick. So get you someone good. Don't mess it up. Garrett will get his record because we all want to see it. I think that might make it interesting enough that I'll take the 7.5 on Cleveland's side. If it were just regular 7, I might lean to Cincy, and Cincy should realistically blow this game out anyway. But I think Cleveland's development makes things interesting. And again, Cincy, they're not really playing for much either. It's not like anyone's got any contract incentives here with all the injuries and whatnot. Total of 44.5. Cleveland's defense is for real. Cincy's defense might be improving, kind of, sort of, maybe. So we'll go under on that one. Next game we have the Cowboys in New York taking on the Giants. Dallas 3.5 point favorites, and the total all the way to the high 49.5. Giants, it was fun. You've been exciting. You've been competitive. You've been making noise. But unfortunately, both for you and Dallas, your season comes to an end here. Dallas, great offense, shitty defense. We've done the same thing against for a while now. But Dallas is clearly the better team by far. So give me Dallas to win this game. Total at 3.5, or the spread at 3.5. I'll lay it. I'm not really expecting the Giants to do much here, if anything. So who knows? But again, shitty defense is shitty defense. So with 49.5, while relatively high, I will take it. Jackson Dart with Wandale Robinson and Tyrone Tracy will make noise against that defense. And of course, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Javonte Williams. They'll all want to go out and bang. Because I believe both Williams and Pickens will be free agents in the offseason. So, I don't want to end on a high note. So, points. Points. Next other pointless game, which none of us would have imagined in a million years this would have been a pointless game. Kansas City goes to Las Vegas. The Chiefs are favored by 5.5, and the total is 36.5. Clearly, Vegas is tanking. At this point, they're not even trying to hide their tanking. They just want the season to be over with, and they don't even care they throw out. Gino's been beaten up to hell and back, so it is what it is. And we don't know the situation there. Chiefs rolling with a third stringer who exists for the most part. So yeah, that's just kind of this game. Teams existing. Give me the Chiefs to win, just because the Raiders are going to want to protect their tank, so let them protect it. 5.5, little risky given the two, but I'll take it. Mostly again, the Raiders are protecting the tank. They have the number 1 pick. They're in line for it. They're feeling great. They're just going to keep it. Total 36.5. I'm going under. Divisional game for division's sake, but both these teams also suck, so. And who knows, maybe the Chiefs are also half tanking for a better draft pick, too. I think they're 11 right now, but who knows? Maybe a loss benefits them in some way. So yeah, Chiefs win, Chiefs cover, give me the under. I think those are all the nothing games. So now we can just go down the line. Saints and Falcons, technically a nothing game, but because of Atlanta deciding to win against the Rams last week, and the Bucks losing to Miami of all teams, it has set up a predicament where if Tampa were to win on Saturday, the division would come down to the result of the Saints and Falcons game. Because if Tampa wins, but Atlanta also wins, that is 3 teams tied for 8 and 9. And when it goes to that, your tiebreaker is the your matchups between each other, the 4 games you play against your 2 division opponents. And Carolina wins that, sweeping Atlanta and getting the 1 game against Tampa back in Week 16. While Atlanta has only the 1 game against Tampa, and Tampa's got only 2 games. Well, or Tampa would have 2 games if they were to beat Carolina. So yeah. But the Saints news, the only thing I'm aware of is Chris Olave. They did find a blood clot on something, or in his lungs, I think, so they're going to take him out like, hey, protect yourself, save yourself, get ready for next year, blah, blah, blah. So Saints are going to be without Olave, and outside of Olave, your receiving core is kind of yikes. So with that said, and Kirko, he's going to want to end on a high note. Bijan's going to want to make a case for, all-pro running back position. There's just more at stake for Atlanta in this game, especially with no Chris Olave. So I'm going to take the Falcons to win this game. On the line, they're laying 3. I'll cover the 3. We move on. 44.5. I still think Tyler Shuck makes things interesting, so I will go over that 44.5. So yeah, Falcons win, Falcons cover, give me the over. So, hey Carolina, even if you mess up, you're going to win the division regardless. You'll have both things go your way. Next one, we have Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jags are 12.5 point favorites. and the total's at 47.5. Jags are just playing. The win gives them the division, and if they get some lucky breaks, they could go up to the 2 or even the 1 seed. I don't know how lucky they'll get, but they need to win this game to, win their division. So I don't think they're going to let Tennessee hang around too much. I'm taking the Jags to win, and I'm not thinking twice about it. Line's at 12.5. It's a relatively high line to play, but I think, again, Jacksonville's going to try hard. They need to win to make sure they can secure the division. I don't think they play around. I'll lay the 12.5. Total at 47.5. Tennessee's also kind of one of those teams lately that will throw you a couple garbage times points when you need it. So I'll give them the over as well. Jacksonville is not going to mess around. They want to, make sure they win, so they'll score a lot if they need to make sure they win. And Tennessee, they just still want to see Cam Ward develop and continue. So he's going to throw the ball around a lot. So yeah, Jags win, Jags cover, give me the over. So Jacksonville will clinch the division in my eyes. Next game we have Indy at Houston. Texans are favored by 10.5, and this line's at 38.5. Phillip Rivers is calling it again. I don't know what the backup situation is. I don't know if he's going to back up Riley Leonard, who's getting the start, or if they have someone else. But Riley Leonard will be the quarterback for the Colts, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. But a hot start of the Colts season falls into disappointment, and they don't have their first round pick, so they're going to be in ultra mega hell. Texans need this win because the win, or what is it? It's a 3-way tie, I think, right now for the wild card spot. Houston has the tiebreaker over both, so if they win, they're bare minimum of 5. So they're going to want it. So I think Houston tries, and they get the win. Line 10.5, same thing. Houston's not going to mess around. Although the offense worries me still from time to time. But I'll take it. Total of 38.5. Like I said, Houston's defense I trust. Indy's defense, well, they exist. But I think 30.5, while low, I think you can get away with it. Give me the under on that one. Oh, I guess I forgot one game that didn't matter. Green Bay's at Minnesota. The Vikings are 7.5 point favorites, and the total at 35.5. Jordan Love, I believe, did clear concussion protocol, but because they're blocked in the 7th seed, he can't do anything anyway. They're going to start Clayton Tune, which I can only imagine is a shit show. I don't know if Minnesota is going back to JJ or if Brosen was even another start. I don't know. But to me, that just screams anemic offense here, anemic offense there. So either way, I'll take the under here. I don't think this is going to be a fun game for anyone. I just don't. But if anything, it seems there has been some developments with Brothman and them. So you know what? Minnesota, you can have it. I will give you this win. That said, even if it is Clayton Tune, I'm not laying 7.5 on the possible Max Brosnan. So give me Green Bay plus 7.5. This is basically me saying I'm going to get one or the other because I don't know where this game's going to go, and I don't think they even care where this game goes. I mean, I imagine Minnesota would want to lose for a better draft position. Green Bay doesn't care because they're locked to the 7th seed, so they're just resting everybody. So who knows? Who knows how let's go. Alright, let's take a look at some seedings. Next thing we have the Dolphins in New England taking on the Patriots. New England's laying 10.5, and the total's at 45.5. Now, I'm going to say the same thing again. Division game, you want to get seeding, so you're going to want to try a bit. Miami's going to be one of those teams where, they might be a thorn in your side. Not saying the team's good by any chance, but knowing New England, they just are. They're going to be a thorn in their side. So I imagine this game will probably be closer than people are willing to bet or perceive. But I think at the end of it all, New England knows, hey, we have a 1 seed on the line, we want to try. And they're going to go for it. So yeah, give me New England to win this game. 10.5 is tricky. But you know what? I'm going to lay it for this one purpose and one purpose alone. We need an exclamation point on Drake May's MVP candidacy. And I think he comes out. I think he plays well. 3 touchdowns, bare minimum. and New England cruises to, at the very least, lock up the two. Total of 45.5. I'll go over on this as well. Again, New England wants to lock up seeds, so they're not going to play around. Quinn Ewers is developing, so hey, maybe he finds something, and it works. Give me the over. And the other team, we have the Chargers in Denver taking on the Broncos. Broncos are 12.5 point favorites, and the 37.5. Chargers have elected to rest Justin Fields, and from the sound of it, a few other key starters. I don't have any names, but they are definitely resting Herbert. So I believe it's the Trey Lance show, and I mean, hey, those preseason games, you got to give him credit. He looked pretty good. I don't know what that means for Denver. Denver should be playing everyone. They got a 1 seed on the line. They're going to want to play. They're going to want to win. And I think with the fact that the Chargers are resting people, this will give Denver what they need for a win. So give me Denver to win this game and to officially clinch the 1 seed. They'll be the 1, New England the 2, Jacksonville the 3. But that said, 12.5, even they won by 7 against Chris Ludicon. And I think Trey Lance is better than Chris Ludicon at this point. So 12.5 is too high, even if the Chargers are resting starters, so I'll take plus 12.5 with LA. And total of 37.5, give me the under. I expect this game to be boring as hell. Yup. Denver to win, Chargers cover. Give me the under. Next game we have Detroit and Chicago taking on the Bears. Chicago is 3-point favorites at home, and total of very high 15.5. Now last time we saw these two teams play, Detroit blew them out. Chicago wanted a 2 seed so they could play Green Bay. Because maybe they don't. I don't know. Divisions are weird. But I think Chicago tries. I do. Detroit, again, a disappointing season's disappointing. They're definitely going to play because they have heart. But I think Chicago, especially after last week's loss, like, hey, we just need 1 win and we'll be the 2 seed. And I think Chicago finds a way to get that done. Give me the Bears to win the game. Line's at -3. I'll lay it. 15.5. I feel like in the event if the Lions do go turbo, this might be one of those times where you have to take the over. And I did see the Bears put up 38 points in the Niners last week. The Lions offense kind of looks like a shell of itself. I'm going to say under. I can't imagine this being too much of a shootout. And again, I think Detroit's ready to go to the offseason. Now it's official now. Yep, so Chicago wins, Chicago covers, give me the under. Next game we have the Cardinals in LA taking on the Rams. Rams are 7.5 point favorites at home, and the total of 45.5. Rams get absolutely embarrassed on Monday Night Football, and Matthew Stafford throwing 3 interceptions. While, yes, recency bias will more than likely cost him that MVP. And it does suck. We wanted to see him get 1 before he retired. I mean, again, we're probably looking at the same shit we did last year with Lamar and Josh Allen. Lamar gets first team, give Allen the MVP. I'm thinking the same thing should happen here realistically. Give Matthew Stafford, first team All-Pro, best QB, blah, blah, blah. However you want to distinguish it. And again, May, 1 more games. Is a division winner when Stafford's not. Stats are similar. And it is what it is. You can argue about all the semantics about who actually should win MVP. But again, if you actually pay attention to the voters, counting numbers have not hit as much lately. It's story, it's narrative, it's what they believe you can and can't do. And wins. Wins matter. So with that, I think Stafford tries to re-enter the MVP campaign a little bit against the lowly Cardinals team who again checked out weeks ago and is ready to go into the offseason. Give me the Rams to win this game. 7.5, a little high, but again, Arizona's clocked out. They're ready for this offseason to get going and hopefully find someone worth a damn in the draft. Total again to 45.5. I'll take the over. Rams might try a little bit. Arizona hasn't been great at backdoor coverage lately, but I might throw one or two our way. I might. So give me the over in that. Ram wins. Rams cover. Give me the over. Next game we have DC in Philadelphia taking on the Eagles. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites, and the total is 39.5. I don't know if it's been made official, but I have been hearing that the Eagles might rest starters. That said, if you're going to ask me to pick between Tanner McKee and Josh Johnson, I'm probably going to lean Tanner McKee. So, in the event Philly does legitimately rest starters, and I'll just put this here, even if Hurts plays the first drive, as long as he doesn't play the second drive, I'll stand by my prediction. I'm going to take the Eagles to win this game, one way or another, but I do see the hook, I do see the 3.5, and if Philadelphia is legitimately resting people, then I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt of giving the hook to DC. Guess to play it safe. And the total 39.5, give me the under. Philadelphia's defense, even if they rest a few guys, is still going to be really great. And who knows what Tanner McKee's going to give us. Eagles win, DC covers, give me the under. Next one we have the Jets in Eastern New York, or Western New York, excuse me, taking on Buffalo. And what I believe will probably be the last game at Highmark Stadium. And you know those fans, they're going to want to go with a bang. I did hear reports about Josh Allen's foot, so there might be rest. But even if he does it, I think Buffalo wants to send the fans out with a bang. Bills will win. It's the Jets. No one cares about the Jets. It's -7. I don't even know who Buffalo's backup is, but they should be able to take care of that just fine. Total game at 38.5. Risky, but I'm going to go under again. We don't know to what extent Allen will play, if he'll play at all. I've heard yes, I've heard no. So it just comes down to what they actually decide to do. They might do what they did last year, have him start, take a snap, and then leave, so that way he can continue his consecutive start streak. He did that last year, so they'll probably do that again this year. And then the final game. Oh boy, do we get to talk about it. The Ravens travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers for the AFC North crown on Sunday Night Football in the final regular season game of 2025. Ravens are favored by 3.5 on the road, and the total is at 41.5. You just kind of figured it would come down to something like this. So Lamar should be healthy. DK still suspended, so who knows what Pittsburgh's offense is going to look like. Ravens' defense is much worse than Cleveland's lately, so all these factors going into it. My heart tells me Pittsburgh will find a way, but the bias in me just can't bring myself to do it. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win. Because I'm greedy. I might honestly prefer they lose, but the fan in me is going to want to root for their success and root for deep runs, even though I'd be shocked. Even if we did get the spot, I'd be shocked if we did anything with it. I really, really don't expect much. See, Ravens win. But I see this hook, 3.5 hook, which is interesting. Okay, this feels like a trap. Give me Pittsburgh plus 3.5 here. It just feels like a trap. And I'll take my chances, better safe than sorry. And the total game is 41.5. I think this goes over again. Lamar is healthy. So, Ravens should be able to have half an offense. Pittsburgh, we don't know. They clearly had nothing against Cleveland. So we'll have to go into the game without DK to see if they can win this game. We'll see. We'll see. So, yep, those are officially my picks for Week 18. We have Carolina winning in Tampa and covering +3. Game going under 43.5. We have the Niners winning at home, pulling off the quote-unquote betting upset, covering +1.5 against Seattle and going under 47.5. I have Atlanta winning at home and covering 3 against the Saints, and again it goes over 44.5. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning at home and covering the large spread of 12.5 over the Tennessee Titans. It totally goes over 47.5. I have the Texans winning at home against the Colts while also covering -10.5, and again it stays under 38.5. I have the Bengals winning at home, but the Cleveland Browns covering +7.5 in a game that goes under 44.5 points. I have the Vikings winning at home, but the Packers covering +7.5 against them in a game that goes under 35.5. I feel sorry if you have to watch that game solo. I have Dallas going into New York and winning that game against the Giants, covering 3.5 in a game that goes over 49.5 points. I have New England at home winning their game against the Dolphins and covering the large spread of 10.5 points in a game that goes over 45.5. I have the Denver Broncos winning at home over the Chargers, but LA covers +12.5 and again it stays under 37.5 points. I have the Chicago Bears winning at home and covering their -3 spread against the Detroit Lions in a game that stays under 50.5 points. I have the LA Rams winning at home and covering -7.5 against the Arizona Cardinals, and for whatever reason, the Cardinals always needed to check up on me or do mental shit or whatever, but hey, it is what it is. Unless I lose sight of that, I'm already tired if you can't tell. But Rams win, Rams cover, and give me the over in 45.5. I have the Chiefs winning on the road and covering -5.5 against the Raiders, so the Raiders can tank and keep their number 1 pick to themselves. In a game that goes under 39.5 points, or excuse me, they go under 36.5. I have the Eagles winning at home with their backups, but DC covers +3.5. Backups, chaos, anything can happen. Give me DC +3.5. In a game that goes under 39.5 points. I have the Bills winning at home, covering -7 over the New York Jets, who no one's expecting anything from anyway. And again, it stays under 38.5. If whoever Buffalo's backup does get significant playing time, watch for them to sell out on it. Watch for the Jets to sell on interceptions. They still have yet to record one this season, so they want one. They just want one. So I imagine them selling out here. And finally, I have the Ravens winning on the road in Pittsburgh, but the Steelers covering +3.5 in a game that goes over 41.5. So those are my picks, meaning if I go a perfect 16-0 in that would mean Denver would be the 1 seed, New England the 2, Jacksonville the 3, Baltimore the 4, Houston would be the 5, Buffalo would be the 6, and the Chargers with their loss to Denver would be the 7. So Chargers at Patriots, Bills at Jags, Texans at Ravens. And in the NFC, since I have Sanford winning, Sanford would be the 1, Chicago the 2, Philadelphia the 3, Carolina the 4. With Sanford winning, Seattle would be the 5, the Rams would be the 6, Green Bay should be locked in the 7. So Green Bay would go to Chicago, the Rams would go to Philadelphia, and the Seahawks would go to Carolina. Those are my picks for Week 18 and for the official playoff bracket that we'll get. And since I'm here again after taking the last couple of weeks off, we'll put a finality on all the fantasy things. Your champions for each of the fantasy leagues. The League of Assholes goes to none other than Nathan. His first championship in the 10 years he's been with us. In the Ante & Co. Dynasty League, our champion goes to Evan, who went on a damn near perfect run, only 1 loss all season, to a guy who didn't even make the playoffs, which is funny, but hey, it doesn't matter. Capping off a 13-1 regular season with a clean 3-0 sweep in the playoffs. And then in the Professional Dynasty League, none other than Chris, who who I believe won last year, so that's a back-to-back to him. Congrats to him. Congrats to Evan. Congrats to Nathan. And if you're curious about the two bullshit leagues I don't really want to talk about, Amanda won one, and then I won the other. Again, they were bullshit leagues with weird scoring, so I'm not going to really dive into them too much. But that's that. And with that, that is everything from me. A little sped up version of that, but you know what? That's okay. I'm a little rusty. Haven't done this in a couple of weeks. And as always, I am very, very, very tired. So with that, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for hopping in. We'll try to go through the playoffs, and we'll just take things from there. A couple other videos are in the works, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, CanadianCatCP, even though that site's a shit show. Ran by a shit show, but that's neither here nor there. Instagram, Blind Canadian Cat. Twitch, Tumblr, Discord, all that stuff is linked throughout the profile, so you should be able to find it. With that, that is all from me. Thank you all for tuning in. I shall catch you next week. Choose peace, accept love, have big trust. Good night, Internet.